Today, I'm talking to Matt Busby of the Name Label Company. They'd already done a lot of environmental work when they joined Go Climate Positive, but he really wanted to take it to the next level. So Matt, where were you on your carbon journey when you first joined Go Climate Positive?
Well, we had recognized that we needed to do something, and we had gone for the ISO 9001. We had that for a number of years, and then I thought this was the right time to get 14001. We needed to start somewhere, and that seemed the most logical step at the time. We hadn't heard of you, hadn't met you, so 14001 seemed the logical place to start.
And how did you find the process?
The process was great. It is hard work, especially gathering the data together, but it was important that it was that way, because the one thing that I was very aware of and very conscious of, that I didn't want to greenwash, and that's a term I didn't know until I met with you guys as well. But I had been in other businesses where clearly their environmental journey was a complete greenwash, and all it was I'll plant a few trees and therefore I'm offsetting everything I'm doing. No measuring to see where they were, what they were doing, how they could reduce waste or anything like that, improve things. So, coming to yourself, the thoroughness of the process was a bit challenging, but also very satisfying that it was being done properly.
How have you and the business benefited from it?
Oh, massively. It's one of those things. It's quite interesting that when we first started it, the important things for us was to set targets. How can we reduce it? How can we start doing things a bit better? And we brought in tiny little changes, but little in themselves, but collectively made quite a difference. So focusing on waste. Now that we measure it, we were able to drive down the sort of waste that we produce as a business. But also there are other things we're using. Turning off lights. We put a little mark on our thermostat in production to say that the temperature shouldn't really go beyond that. I'm not draconian enough to say that, if you're cold, it can't go beyond that, but, just be mindful of that. We put little marks on our kettle to say that was 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups. And, it's just changing behaviors very, very slowly. So, that had a massive impact. But also what was interesting, over the sort of 3 years that we've been with you, customers' feedback has started off and saying, I chose you because of what you're doing. Now, it's only a handful now, but, we're starting to see a little bit of a momentum going that way, that is important to some of our customers, and we're doing the right thing, and that's why they chose to use us. So, there has been so many positives throughout the journey.
If you could go back to the start of your carbon journey and give yourself some advice, what would it be?
It would say, get on with it now, and also just just start gathering that data. What I find is the process is the end of the year. I'm pulling together all that data for you to measure our footprint, our handprint, and all that. I could make it a lot easier for myself, but I think the message is just do it. Just get on and do it, because you can wait there for the perfect program to come across or wait for legislation forcing you and that. Just get on with it.
So what would you say are the top 3 things that you've got out of being part of Go Climate Positive?
First of all, it's real. There's no greenwashing. It's a thorough program. We work out exactly where we are. We put targets in place of where we want to go, and it's well measured. So it's real. Secondly, it's affordable. I think a lot of companies and a lot of people might sit on the sidelines thinking, I can't really afford to do this. Whilst I'd love to do it and do the right thing, I just can't afford it. This program that you've designed just works well. For a small growing company, we can afford to do this. It is important to do, and we can really afford to do it. The third thing, it's the right thing to do. We should be doing this, and everybody has an opportunity to do something and make a small change. So yeah, it's the right thing to do.
And where would you like your carbon journey to go in the future?
Well, we have done quite a few changes, but the beauty of being in the group, like the Go Climate Positive group, is that we share experiences, and those little once a month catch-ups have been very handy, because we've met people like Caroline Estrop from Green Spark, and they bring a lot of information and stuff that I hadn't even considered doing. they've set it out there, and then we can take that forward and implement some of the other ideas from other people, have told us in their experience, this has worked well. Had you thought about doing that? So, we're nowhere near there. I don't know if there is a there, but we're working in the right direction. So I find that very encouraging.
Thanks so much for joining me today, Matt, and talking about your journey. You were the first business to join Go Climate Positive, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future in your journey.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, it's been a good journey. We've enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the task of pulling together our next year's data, which will be year number 4.